Hi, so we are doing a documentary on bullying in the workplace, and we wanted to ask you a couple questions. To start, have you or someone you worked with ever been bullied in the workplace?
I wouldn't have thought it was called bullying, but when you asked me, it came to mind a job that I had when I first moved to Olympia, when I worked in a bakery in a big grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the only person there that was of the liberal political bent, and I wasn't from around here. I didn't know people from around here. And it was very obvious that there was a different class structure going on. It became a detriment to me that I had a college education. I worked there about 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
In the course of that time, if I asked to switch shifts, people didn't want to switch shifts. If certain music came on, they'd go, "Oh, here's some of your hippie music," or "Here's some of your liberal music." If it was just subtle. The individuals were not particularly unkind, but there was this kind of joking, teasing separation.
Basically,
attitude.
in group, out group, you're out group, and it's
Yeah.
in your workplace. How do you think that it affected your working?
Oh, I'm belligerent or defiant enough that I just went, "What? What?
Absolutely.
How can you be so narrow?"
Yeah.
But I was also older. I also had my own family. I had also, at the point in my life that I wasn't easily intimidated. I probably should say I was a bit proud to be different.
Yes.
But I think that comes with a different time in your life.
Yeah.
I'm sure if it had happened when I was young and more vulnerable, it would have had a different impact.
What kind of things did you do to stand up for yourself?
I just kept, I'd have to remember, it's been quite a few years. I would just say, that's narrow-minded. The one thing that came to mind, because we just had Martin Luther King Day, it was when Martin Luther King holiday had just been passed, and there were all these comments about it shouldn't have been passed, he wasn't worthy of having a holiday.
Oh my God.
And it was a very black and white kind of separation thing. You don't think of that in Washington State.
Yeah, I mean, real racism in Olympia.
Right. We tend to think it only happens in the South, or it only happens somewhere else. But there's a subtlety of things that go on even here, and a way that people are separated. Like I said, I was not happy to work there.
Yeah.
I wasn't comfortable. I didn't want to stay there. It was a good paying job. It was a union job. It had insurance and all that stuff, but the atmosphere was not, I wasn't compatible with the atmosphere.
What would be your suggestion to someone in a similar situation now that you have more experience in the workplace?
I said, first, don't give up what you believe in. Don't get carried along with everyone else. Don't be afraid to stand out, especially if you feel strongly about it. Or for me, I knew I was right.
Yes.
I had done a lot of civil rights things, and it was just unconscionable to think that way. And it made me think the value of education, of world experience. The more you see, the bigger world you have, the more you see how ridiculous it is.
Yes.
If you stay in a small town and you think the same way, and everybody that you work with thinks the same way, you don't question it. You just buy into the package.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.